The application layer protocols are communication standards that enable applications to exchange data across networks. Some of the protocols are HTTP, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTPS, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, FTP, which stands for File Transfer Protocol, SMTP, which stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, POP3, which stands for Post Office Protocol version 3, and IMAP, which stands for Internet Message Access Protocol. HTTP, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, is the foundation of data communication on the World Wide Web. It uses a client-server communication model, and it is a stateless protocol, meaning it has no memory of previous requests. It uses TCP on port 80 by default, and is a text-based protocol with various methods. The HTTP request and response flow happens when the client sends an HTTP request to the server. The server then processes the request and sends an HTTP response back to the client. Finally, the client processes the response. The common HTTP methods are GET, which retrieves data from the server, POST, which submits data to be processed, PUT, which updates an existing resource, DELETE, which removes a resource, PATCH, which partially updates a resource, and HEAD, which is the same as GET but without the response body. The HTTP status code categories are 1XX, which are informational responses, 2XX, which are successful responses such as 200 OK, 3XX, which are redirection messages, 4XX, which are client error responses such as 404 not found, and 5XX, which are server error responses such as 500 internal server error. Status codes indicate the result of the HTTP request. HTTPS, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, is an encrypted web communication protocol. It encrypts data between the client and the server, provides authentication of websites, and protects against man-in-the-middle attacks. It uses TLS, which stands for Transport Layer Security Protocol, and is required for sensitive data transmission. HTTP uses port 80, while HTTPS uses port 443. The HTTPS handshake process begins when the client sends a client hello with supported TLS versions. The server responds with a certificate and a server hello. The client then verifies the certificate and sends a session key, establishing secure encrypted communication. FTP, which stands for File Transfer Protocol, is a standard network protocol for transferring files between a client and a server. It uses separate control and data connections and supports authentication using a username and password. It provides file operations such as upload, download, and delete. By default, it is unencrypted, so FTPS or SFTP should be used for security. There are two modes: active mode, where the server connects to the client for data transfer, and passive mode, where the client connects to the server for data transfer. For FTP connection architecture, FTP client connects to the FTP server using control connection on port 21, and data connection using port 20 or dynamic port. SMTP, which stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is a protocol for sending email messages. It uses TCP on port 25, or 587 for submission. It's a text-based command response protocol that can be secured with TLS, also known as SMTPS. It is responsible for mail submission and routing. The SMTP communication flow begins when the client establishes a TCP connection with the SMTP server. The client then sends a hello or HLO command to identify itself. The client specifies the sender using mail from, and the recipient using RCPTTO. The client sends the message data using the data command. Finally, the server accepts the message and the client can disconnect using the quit command. POP3, which stands for Post Office Protocol version 3, is a protocol for retrieving email from a mail server. It uses TCP on port 110 or 995 for POP3S, the secure version. It uses a download and delete model typically, and uses a simple authentication mechanism. It is designed for offline email access. The POP3 session flow is as follows. First, The client connects to the POP3 server on port 110. Authentication is done with the user and pass commands. The client lists and retrieves messages and marks messages for deletion, if desired. Finally, the client issues quit to end the session. IMAP, which stands for Internet Message Access Protocol, is an advanced protocol for accessing email on a server. It uses TCP on port 143, or 993 for IMAPs, the secure version. It is designed for online email management. It maintains email on the server, which allows synchronization across multiple devices. It also supports folders and message flags. Compared to POP3, IMAP is server-based, allows access from multiple devices, and supports folders, while POP3 is client-based, allows access from a single device, and does not support folders. The key IMAP features are multiple folder support with hierarchical structure, message state information such as read, replied, flagged, partial message retrieval, server-side searching capabilities, support for multiple simultaneous connections, and idle command for push notifications. Here is an application layer protocol comparison. HTTP's primary function is web browsing using port 80, and its secure version is HTTPS on port 443, and its connection type is stateless. FTP's primary function is file transfer using port 21 for control and port 20 for data. The secure versions are FTPS and SMTP, and the connection type is stateful. SMTP's primary function is sending email using port 25 or 587, and its secure version is SMTPS on port 465, and it has a command response connection type. POP3's primary function is retrieving email using port 110, and its secure version is POP3S on port 995, and its connection type is download and delete. IMAP's primary function is email management using port 143, and its secure version is IMAPs on port 993, and its connection type is server-based. All of these protocols operate at the application layer, also known as Layer 7 of the OSI model. Here are the common use cases for application layer protocols. Web browsing uses HTTP or HTTPS for accessing websites and web applications. E-commerce uses HTTPS for secure transactions and customer data protection. Email systems use SMTP for sending and POP3 or IMAP for receiving messages. Cloud storage uses FTP or SFTP for file uploads and downloads, and mobile apps use HTTP or HTTPS for API communication with servers. Key takeaways are that application layer protocols enable specific application functionality. Most protocols have secure versions using TLS or SSL encryption. Each protocol is optimized for specific types of data exchange. Understanding protocols helps with network troubleshooting, and modern applications often use multiple protocols together. Remember that application layer protocols work on top of the transport layer, which are TCP and UDP, to provide specific services. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.